Hi, I'm Matt, and I'm here to present an R package. The name of the R package is kofdata. So what is kofdata? Kofdata is basically KOF, Swiss Economic Institute, plus data. So let's look at those two pieces. First of all, there is KOF, Swiss Economic Institute, which is known for its academic research, its economic forecasting, and its survey data, among other things. If we talk about data, in this talk today, we're basically looking at time series. So what is time series? Time series just means it's a single variable that we observe over time. And the important thing in this talk is to think of time series as the granular thing in our database. So we got millions of time series in our database, and all of which are identified by their unique keys, by their unique identifiers. And that's the way we share them with you. So when you use kofdata, you are probably interested in how are the data being exchanged. So our answer to this question is certainly not this. So we don't want you to go to our website, download some Excel spreadsheet, and then having to read that spreadsheet into your R session. We want to enable you to consume the data directly in your R session and work with it directly using our REST API. And even though such a REST API approach is language agnostic, it's extra convenient for our users because we got an API wrapper package, which is kofdata. And you use that package like you would use when you load any other package. And then there's a function in the package that's called getTimeSeries. And you provide that function with an identifier. And what you get back is a list of time series objects. Note though, that you always get back a list, even if you query only a single time series. That's important because we always want to have the same type of objects back, no matter how many series we query. And yeah, I basically said it already. You could also provide that function with a vector of time series, like in this case of the labor market index, where we just want to have 3 time series and we end up with a list of 3 time series objects. And this is not only the data themselves that you can get from the kofdata API, you could also consume the data description. And we are really proud of having meta descriptions in German, French, Italian, and English. And also what is nice is that this meta information is chunked. So when you create a dynamic report and you want to label your tables and figures, for example, you could just use particular chunks, maybe one for the title, one for the axis, and so on. Another advanced function is our collection support, which is very close to what your favorite music application probably calls playlists. These are just sets of time series. For example, we have pre-composed sets where we think, okay, KOF tourism forecast, we put all the time series that belong to our summer forecast into one such collections. And if you work with us more regularly, you could also compose your own collections. And there's also functions to see what's contained in a particular set. And then you could just call this function list keys and set, and you see, like in this particular example of the economic sentiment indicator, there's only 2 time series in there. So one question that you probably have asked yourself is, how do I know all these keys? And I want you to show a little bit of what we have been using internally at KOF for about a year now. It's a web application that helps you search those time series. And as you can see, we got more than 500,000 time series in the particular pool. And if we look in for a business situation, that gets narrowed down to only 37,000. And we say, okay, we only interested in the retail, and we are just interested in the top level. And then for seasonal adjustment, we are only interested in the unadjusted original series. And that narrows it down to 193 time series keys or time series. And that's the way you could work through it and compose your collections and then continue to use them in R once you know the keys. And but enough about the future. That's probably something we're looking at. We're looking to publish this at the end of the year, maybe beginning of next year. So what's behind this? Obviously, we got our time series database, which is SQL based. And then we got Express.io, which is a node-based application framework, which we use to expose the API itself. And we put that on a web server. And that's how we end up being able to put out URLs like this. So we have our URL, and then it's dynamically composed. And in R, it's really simple. You see, if you're looking at the R code here, there's two lines that are really interesting. Is you paste collapse the keys that you provide the function with, and then you put together that URL, and that's all of the magic. That's everything we basically do. So if you want to, what are the takeaways from this talk? First, if you work with data, with time series data from Kof, consider using the R package, kofdata, if you work with R. And we are really interested in extending that approach. And we would love to get your feedback and your ideas and improve the package further down the road. Second, and that's probably even more important to me to say that, if you are a data provider, consider an API approach. It's not really difficult. It's not difficult in particular. And it's something I can really recommend. We have good experience with that, and we're really eager to exchange about this approach. So if you're interested in using such an approach, then then it would be nice if we could stay in touch. And if you're on Twitter, you can reach me there, or just drop an email the old-fashioned way. Of course, we are not software consultants, but we're really eager to exchange, and we'll be happy to share our experience, and excited to learn what your experience is. Thanks for your attention, and have a great Statistiktage.